So if you're feeling like you've fallen off the wagon, especially after holidays, after spring break travel, whatever the event is, good, you're in the exact right place. And I'm gonna be going over not what you need to know, but what you're ultimately going to do to reset things. So this isn't about necessarily starting over. It's about your comeback. How do you transition? How are you going to reset some things and even have a pattern disruption? And ultimately, I'm going to give you a simple 3 focal point plan on what you're going to do that you can start tonight and see an immediate impact on your routine, transitioning into a habit, and how you'll feel related to that. Again, it's going to be basically 3 steps. And if you have questions, feel free to let me know in the comments, in the chat, whether you're watching live or you're watching the replay of this. I will break it down. I'll even go into some like specific details and some cases you guys want to shoot it in there. But first and foremost, I want to offer up a little bit of a kind of reframe here. And it's why people tend to fall off in general. And what I mean by that is our perspective is obviously going to shape our experience. Hey, what's going on? I see you. So number 1, being able to recognize that you're not falling off because you're weak or because you're wrong. You're falling off because you don't have a system in play and you don't have a plan. Specifically, a plan or a system for when the pattern gets disrupted. So first and foremost, let me know if that is something you can relate. And I'm going to circle back to our questions, especially if you have questions on like products, what we have. I'm going to have little breakpoints in between as I'm going through this, and I'll bring up, like, I see we have a request talking about the gummies. I'll go over that. And specifically for the gummies, let me know if you want to see the magnesium ones. You're talking about the melatonin. If we're talking about the CMOS gummies, which ones? We got a lot of really good stuff there. And again, these are tools that I'm talking about, but we'll also specifically talk about the plan now. So again, it's a system at the end of the day, and it's not about knowing like the knowledge of it. It's just taking action and how to reduce the friction. Okay. So the first thing that happens, I'm going to lay out a situation. Okay. Especially around whatever time of year you're watching this, but right now, while I'm kind of speaking to it, is it's a break from school. It's a holiday time of year. So you may have a normal routine that got disrupted. We have that pattern disruption. So you have your pattern disruption and you're like, oh, well, I need to go immediately back. Let's say you're working out 3 to 5 times per week and you went a window and you missed one of your workouts, or even missed the whole week of your workouts, and you had a pattern disruption. Instead of going immediately back to 3 to 5 workouts, you want to basically cut that in half and shoot for 1 to 2 workouts for your first week back, and being able to lower the friction. You don't want to go immediately to where you left off. That's where the system is key and the plan becomes key, is how do you adapt when the pattern disruption happens? So figuring out what's the minimum I can do to win today, and being able to, maybe that's a 5-minute walk, or maybe it's 30 minutes, but it's not necessarily an hour 15 if you're doing that in the past. It's finding what's the minimum effective dose that I can get done today that puts a check in the win column that generates me some momentum. So again, examples of this would be like a 20 to 30 minute workout. It would be a protein focused meal. Maybe it's just having a protein shake. Maybe it's just hitting a certain step goal or a certain fluid or hydration goal, but it's a measurable, accessible win for today. So even when and wherever you're watching this right now, you can set a measurable goal that you can hit before you put your head down for the night. That's going to have a component to your reset. And that's what we want to create and invite here. Okay, I'm going to pause there right off the bat and see if we have questions related to that specifically. I do see we have a question around some products. I will make some time. I'll get into that. Okay, it doesn't look like we have questions around this particularly. And again, if you guys want to share specific examples, things you're struggling with, I'll happily speak to that. Okay, number 2. So 1, we're going to reset and pull back a little bit. You want to lower the friction. Number 2, you want to add structure wherever possible. You want to reduce or minimize and ideally remove decision fatigue. An example of this is you get back from travel and let's just say you didn't go food shopping yet. You don't know what to eat. That is a perfect situation when you come back from vacation or off the holidays where you could potentially use a meal prep company or a meal delivery company to just get you some momentum. So you can say, all right, cool. I'm going to order 3 to 5 meals, maybe 10, maybe 12. And that's what you're eating for the first couple of days. You don't have to think about it. On average, I saw a study referencing from PubMed that a person will make about 200 nutrition choices a day on average. That is crazy, right, Rob? Rob knows all the choices. So we want to reduce that decision fatigue. That's number two, being able to add structure and minimize the decision fatigue. So pick a clear, measurable goal, and that's what you're doing. Whether it's, okay, I'm going to do 1 to 3 workouts over the week. I'm going to have 2 to 3 to-go meals that I don't have to think about. They're pre-prepped or they're easy and I'm familiar with them. Or you're using the same times and systems that you can easily replicate. For example, I'll give you a great one. Especially if my pattern gets disrupted and I went back to like, hey, coffee in the morning. The first thing I do, especially if this gets disrupted, is I use the 24-hour rule. So, okay, if 24 hours have gone by and I didn't do my normal routine, I don't let more than 24 hours go by and I get back to it. So I make coffee within the first hour of waking up. I take my supplements and I utilize a protein shake with my coffee. That is like my bare minimum. It's super accessible, doesn't have a lot of friction. I have protein in my house. I make sure I have it pre-ordered so it gets delivered so I don't ever run out. And then I'm able to make my protein and I feel good about how I started my day because I got protein in, I got a little bit of fiber. I love me some good coffee. It's time for me in the morning. Not starting the day with a win. We're building some momentum from that. Okay. So again, that's structure, and being able to have that structure is key. And it starts with a little bit of action preemptively. So it started with me ordering my protein shake, or being able to have protein powder in the house, or being able to make sure I have coffee. Doing some basic things like that is clutch. So that when you get back and you have your pattern disrupted, you're not like, oh man, I have to do all this stuff. That's overwhelming. Okay. So being able to have consistency is going to beat intensity every single time, because you're going to come back and you're going to feel the urge, oh, I got to make up for this vacation. I got to make up for all the stuff that I ate, or I missed these workouts, and I'm going to do an hour and a half workout and I'm just going to actually like just kill my whole system. It's not super sustainable. You're better off. I'd rather see someone do a 15-minute workout at 50% than an hour and a half workout at 100% that they're not going to be able to sustain again. That's just not going to be useful. We're playing the infinite game here. We're playing the long-term game. And that's being able to focus on the low friction stuff. Okay, the third piece to this 3-step formula is add accountability. Whether it's with your homie Rob, I see you in the comments, Rob. Whether it's with your coach, one of us as here at LOF, whether it's a friend of yours, whether it's on social media, it's a family member, have an aspect of accountability. This is a multiplier. This is going to exponentially increase your success. I'm going to reference the same study from London University. They found people that had scheduled accountability check-ins increased their success 60 to 95%. So be able to set up a layer of accountability, whether it's a text message, a phone call, a meeting, an appointment, a class, whatever, a body doubling session. Have something that's going to be your accountability that you share with another person, that you can have, that's predictable and that's routine and that's systemized. Ideally have it on your calendar and just set it on auto repeat so that you don't lose it. So if no one knows what you're doing, you're going to fall off again, and you're not going to have that, again, layer of accountability to allow you to come back. And it's really that simple. Those are the 3 steps. I'm not going to like overdo it here. I just want to like simply give you guys something actionable to highlight it one more time. 1, you are going to reset and you're going to reestablish your baseline, which is if you've been doing 3 to 5 workouts a week, you're going to go back to 1 to 2. If you've been eating, again, I'm making up with a nutrition plan, you're eating 200 grams of protein a day. Hey, just get back to 150 grams of protein. Just get back to logging your protein even, or just having one intentional meal that has 30 grams of protein in it. Something that's low friction, very accessible. Like for me, I always go back to, I'm starting my day with coffee and a protein shake. It's 30 grams of protein, about 4 grams of fiber, and it just builds up that routine and habit that I get to establish and build off of. That's number 1. Number 2, it's how you structure your day and your week after that. Having some baseline structure. You don't have to have every minute accounted for, but basically have the clear measurables that you are going to be able to show up for. Whether that's your workout days and how long you're going to do them for, whether it's how many meals you're going to eat, what you're going to eat, be able to have structure to it, especially that first week, especially after the 24 hours where you had your pattern disruption. Be able to have that first week clearly laid out and a plan in place to be set up for success. And then lastly, be able to have accountability. Have someone that's going to hold you accountable or you're going to share with, so you have that incentivized accountability. When you have these three pieces, you will be able to come back into your routine. And again, the whole idea, what I'm inviting from this is not being perfect, is not even being what it was before the pattern disruption, before the holidays, before whatever interrupted you. You had spring break, you had winter break, you had some kind of break, you had a holiday, you had a kid, you got sick, whatever the thing is. You're not trying to go back to what you were before that. You're trying to have a baseline that you can build off of again. Because most of us lose that baseline when the pattern disruption happens, and then we're unable to build off of it because we have no foundation. We have no floor. Stop thinking about, okay, well, the ceiling I'm capped out at, I need to I'm not going to go past this. You just want to have a floor established. All right, what's my baseline floor? I'm going to move. For me, it's 30 minutes every day, no matter what's going on, unless I'm sick. I'm moving for 30 minutes. It could be walking. It could be cardio. It could be martial arts training. It could be weight training. It could be my prehab, my mobility stuff, but I'm doing 30 minutes of movement on a daily basis. Like even today, I already got, ironically, where I fit it in. I got my 6,000 steps. I walked for more than 30 minutes, but I was on one of my coaching calls. I was literally just balancing on my physical. So even if hypothetically I needed to, I could literally just balancing on this ball for 30 minutes. That would be a checkpoint for me. That's where I would be able to get my minimum effective dose. And the accountability is sharing it with you guys, but I also have my own coach. I literally just had a call with him. I have my own team of health coaches as well. I got a great nutrition coach, a great fitness coach, mindset coach, all these people I get to share and have accountability with. So that's literally the real life application. This is going to be not just for the holidays, but year round. I share it right now though, because this is where we see a lot of it. Okay. So if you're watching this too, and you're like, dude, that sounds great, but I'm feeling stuck with this. You can do one of two things. I'm gonna give you some actionable stuff right now. You can either just comment, I got you, and we can literally troubleshoot in real time if you want to, or you can shoot me a message wherever you're watching this, or go to our website. Go to lifestyleoffitness.com, schedule a free call. I'll chat with you. We'll go over an implementable plan. And if you want to do coaching, cool. We'll have options for that. If not, we'll walk away. I'll high five you. And you'll be able to have a clear plan of attack that doesn't cost you anything. And you'll actually have some resources. The cool thing is, people, when you show up to a call, I hook you up with a free program because I want you to be able to have success. I'm confident in you to do the program that we share with you. You'll see results. A, you'll be able to be a walking testimony, more or less. Or B, you're going to want to do coaching because you see the impact we have. Or C, you just hang out with me forever, right, Robin? We just become besties. You drop in the comments in the chat, and here we are. Et voila. So that's it. I put it in the comments, and then just to kind of bring it home, I'm going to hang out on Amazon specifically here and talk about some of the products. So you guys get questions. And so we have some questions on some of the products and tools related to the plan that I will support you guys with. But I want to keep it, again, a very simple, very accessible kind of office hours. It's 10, 15 minutes. That's it. Okay, we're going to keep it short, to the point, sweet and simple. If you guys are watching live on any of the other platforms besides Amazon Live and TikTok, hop on over here to Amazon Live, and I will be hanging out, going over some products, going over some additional questions. We have some requests on products that people want to see. I got you. But other than that, be able to take action. Focus on the low friction points. Just do one thing. And that's what it goes back to. And this doesn't just come into play with your fitness routine, your health routine. I'm even working with in a mindset coaching dynamic, and I take the same principle of what's a low friction thing I can focus on to get myself progress and momentum. For me, it's journaling. I do journaling in the morning and the evening, and if I miss a day of journaling, I even account for it. This week, my goal is to do 6 out of 7 days of journaling. It's not going to be 7 out of 7. It's not to be perfect. And if I happen to miss 6 out of 7, I would go back one day. I'll go 5 out of 7 days of journaling. And that helps from my mindset perspective and some of the regulation related to that. So that's going to do it, y'all, here on everywhere else except on my Amazon and my TikTok peeps. I'm going to hang out with you guys. We'll go over some of the products, some of the requests that you guys have to see. But yeah, y'all, I appreciate you guys. Later.